Today we are going to be talking about Next in Fashion Season 2, Episode 6. The theme, Met Gala! Let's get to this, shall we? Alright, now the reason why this is really fun is it's currently Met Gala week. At least while I'm filming this. This is most likely not going to come out during Met Gala week. But I just designed some Met Gala looks. If you want to go take a look at that, there's a Karl Lagerfeld pre-video of looks I hope to see on the runway, as well as my Met Gala illustration that I did by hand, and a whole video talking about my favorite looks from the red carpet. You'll see there's 3 videos right there that you can watch. It's binge watching. I support you. Today we're going to be talking about Next in Fashion, and Next in Fashion's Met Gala theme. And the Met Gala is something that I've always illustrated for. Every year I design a look for the Met Gala. And it's a fun sort of ritual that I do myself that I really enjoy. It's a great way to practice and really get your creative feelers out there and just be imaginative and create a really fun concept based on this theme. They're playing off of the camp theme, the Notes on Fashion by Susan Santow. Camp is all about excessiveness, eccentricness, being eccentric and weird for no reason. And sometimes it's like about being in on the joke. Some camp designers, some designers that really embody camp, I definitely feel like Schiaparelli is one of those. That's definitely a more glamorous camp. And even Jeremy Scott from Moschino, very, very campy fashion. Like there was a whole harp dress, fun stuff. And looking back on that red carpet, we have some amazing looks from the Met Gala theme that year from Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. We have some very weird and eccentric ones as well. We even have, Violet Chachki as a glove. There's ways to do camp in a very subtle, minimalistic sense. And I'm very excited to see what the designers bring for this runway. Camp truly to me is the most fantastical, eccentric, weird that fashion is so fun for. It's the stuff that even make us fashion people go, oh, that's weird, but it's fun. I think camp truly in its essence is weird, fun, and fabulous. So let's get to this runway, shall we? Up first, we have DeAndre, and DeAndre wanted to create this puffer hand jacket. Now, I do think this was a very interesting look. I think the look was brought down by that hat and by that skirt. The bottom and the bare bones of this look are very, very lackluster. The glove is interesting. This giant hand that's encompassing her body is very, very interesting. I don't think it was the best executed. Of course, there was a time restraint. I think what cheapens it are the nails, but I do think it's a fun look. I don't think it needed that hat, DeAndre. That she was fumbling with the hat the whole time. It was flopping and blowing everywhere. You see this hat? It's got to be secured. Secured. Hats don't move like that. Hats not supposed to move like that. All in all, I think it's an interesting concept. I just think the execution could have been done better. And then of course when she turns around, there's the spray painted hands off. Didn't really enjoy that, to be honest. I do see where it was going, but I think the reason why I didn't enjoy it is because the hand already looked weird, and having it there was made it look a little bit weirder. But I like the concept. I like the idea. I hope DeAndre is able to execute this in a different idea in the future, because I think it's really cool. Up next we have Megan, and Megan truly did a very fantastical sense. I believe their inspiration was sort of that mall rat culture. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I do know that this look feels very fun and eccentric and a little campy, It feels very, my kid drew all over this white dress, and I think that there's some fun to that. I think Megan and camp naturally fall together very well. She has this look that what was it? She has this look that Gigi Hadid was wearing, where it looked like a bunch of these stuffed animals brought together, and I wish we would have seen some more of that side of Megan. But I do like this sort of nod to retro fashion and these bright colors. If I saw this on the red carpet, I would definitely take a double take. I think it's very interesting and well executed. Up next we have Bao, and Bao's concept was pockets on the red carpet. And I think that that's fun. The one thing a girl wants and the one thing a girl loves is when a dress or a skirt has pockets. So she put pockets all over this dress. I will say, because of the fabric of this dress, you can't really tell there's pockets sewn all over it, unfortunately. But it is very impactful, but it does kind of just give pretty dress at the Met Gala. But it is a fun concept. I just wish the pockets were either binded or lined in something different so that they could pop out more on this pink fabric. It would have been interesting to really denote these different pockets, because I know she did like 7 or 8 different types of pockets on this dress, and I realistically only see the 2 that she sticks her hand in. I wish she would have brought something out from another pocket. And actually, I think she brings a mirror out of somewhere. I thought it was her hair, but I don't remember. But it's a fun look. I just think it needed to be pushed further, or it needed to be more obvious, in my opinion. Up next, we have Amari. And Amari wanted to do this sexy little bow number. And I actually do think that this is a fun concept. I genuinely love this idea. On the bodice, that's very interesting, the way the bows cover up her breasts and sort of come like that. But it does get very chaotic around the skirt. And I do love the comically huge bow that she's holding like a train. I could have done without the hair. I thought the horns and the head, like that, the way that the double cone head hair, I could have done without it. The bows on it were fun. I do think this is a fun look. And I do think that this could be reimagined in a very, very fun and innovative way. I don't really like the skirt with the bows on top of it. I wish you would have done like a panty of some sort of undergarment to still keep that nude illusion going, that she's nude and she's literally dressed in nothing but bows. I think that would have been the better direction to take this in, sort of treating it kind of like those, ever seen those Zana Bane like bondage chain dresses? Kind of like that, to go around that approach, or maybe even like those Paco Rabanne sequin dresses, like the way that they're like linked together. If she would have taken that approach with this, it might have had a better execution, because the skirt with the bows on top of it looked very cluttered. And I don't think that was the intention with this look. Up next, we have Desiree. And Desiree kind of gave that like hip hop 2000 swagger. I love the look of this look. I don't like how she made it. The way she kind of just attached these boxer shorts flat onto this hoop skirt, I think feels a little lazy, because when she's moving, you could see the boxer flip over and there's a white hoop skirt. I think they could have been linked together and attached better. I do think it's such a cool concept. I love this white shirt with that hard shoulder. Not a big fan of that sleeve personally. The hem on the sleeve is a little weird, but the look altogether really, really serves a fantasy. And I think Desiree hit that nail on the head. I just wish there was a few more details paid attention to when it comes to construction and how those boxer shorts were tacked onto this hoop skirt. And finally, to end the runway off, we have Nigel. And Nigel wanted to go with a butterfly chrysalis evolution type situation. So he created a jumpsuit that had a sort of a bat wing, but he called it a butterfly wing. It's in this sort of metallic gray with these orange and yellow flowers on it. And I definitely get the whole idea of this butterfly. But something interesting is Nigel really stepped out of his comfort zone while still staying in his comfort zone. Instead of patchworking denim or cotton like he always is seen doing, or textured fabrics, he went with this fur. He reinterpreted his patchworking with the fur this time around, and I do appreciate that, because it's showing at least that he's trying to evolve and elaborate on a sort of key integral code to his identity. And I genuinely appreciate that, because this code is my favorite part of this look. The jumpsuit, I think, is just okay. I think it clashes with this coat a bit. I feel like if they would have flowed a little bit better together, that would have helped unify the look more. But I do think that the look is interesting. I do think he got his point across, that it is this caterpillar chrysalis evolving into a butterfly. And I think that it's stunning. I think it's a pretty look. I wish the styling and the colors meshed better together, because I would rather see something different underneath this coat, personally. Okay, so now we're gonna get into my look. And for my look, when I think of camp, I think of the 90s Club Kids. Now, the Club Kids were a sort of underground group of queer, fashionable, makeup-wearing, gender non-conforming, club-going party monsters. If you get the joke, you get the joke. I specifically wanted to pay an homage to Leigh Bowery. I am a huge fan of Leigh Bowery's art and imagery. To this day, I look back at some of Leigh Bowery's photographs and I'm consistently inspired. And one that has always intrigued me is the one where Lee Bowery has painted their face a shade of green and has these orange polka dots on it, and has a suit that matches but clashes with it, and they have a little blonde wig on. And so I wanted to really take that textile, that pattern, and use that as the inspiration for this look. I wanted to do something very bright and annoying and visually like confusing, but I also wanted to draw in some looks that he did with a face kini, which is essentially a mask that you wear with the eyes and the mouth cut out. It's almost a gimp hood, if you will. And I also wanted to do a top hat situation, and I wanted to reimagine it in suiting. And I love suiting. I love reimagining suiting, and I think that what better way to represent a queer icon than taking this traditionally masculine idea and femming it out. And so I wanted to go with a traditional suit, but I made it asymmetrical. Half of it's the lapel, half of it's just a solid band. And I wanted to play around with the hip shape. So I made the waist come in and then the hips jut straight out, having a huge opening on the sides so you can see the trousers underneath in the matching material, and it would create a very unique shape that would lead into this train, still showcasing the pant. Sort of a reference to like some hoop skirts of like the 18th century, sort of like Marie Antoinette's like huge hips that I was kind of playing around with. But I wanted it in this green and this orange, the fabric at least, because I feel like these are two colors that complement each other in a very annoying way, and sort of having a orange with a green polka dot and a green with an orange polka dot clashing against each other made me very, very excited. And then topping that off with a hat in the green with that same fabric on the band and the shoes clashing, that this would be what I would want to wear to the Camp Met Gala theme, because I think in its essence, Camp sort of makes fun of fashion, and it holds fashion at this level of you're taking yourself too seriously. Don't forget to have fun. And I think what Lee Bowery and the entire Club Kid movements, such as James St. James, Amanda Lepore, Kabuki Stardust, like all these amazing club kids, like what they did was look at what was in, what was popular, look at this fashion culture and music culture and club culture, and held the middle finger up to it and decided to have fun with it. Granted, there were drugs involved, but you know, there's no drugs involved in this look. But that was one of the inspirations. I wanted it to kind of look almost acid trippy, like something if you stared at it too long, you got a little like confused. I almost went with a very warped version of this polka dot, but I decided to go with the simple, straight polka dots on polka dots. It felt perfect to reference that polka dot look by Lee Bowery that I love so much, that I swear I gotta buy a print of that and frame it somewhere, because it truly is my favorite Lee Bowery look. Okay, so time for some final thoughts. The Met Gala is such a fun concept to design for. There are a world of opportunities with the Met Gala. You can go so big or so minimal and still execute a well thought out look. But with Camp, you do have to remember about some of the key elements of fashion. And Susan Santon's notes on Camp in fashion really like put it into a good rubric and an idea for anyone to sort of touch base off of. Camp isn't just glamour, it's glamour with fun and with eccentricity and with uniqueness, and it's bizarre. I think when the people that attending this Met Gala walked into the red carpet and noticed that camp doesn't necessarily mean haute couture, camp means this eccentricity, this performative aspect to it, I think a lot of people did not truly understand it. And I think it would have even been very camp for someone to show up in a fucking tent, a tent dress. Like, I think there was some missed opportunities, obviously, and maybe it's our chance and our opportunity to design for it and go back and have some conversations about previous Met Gala themes and reinterpret them. This is a lot of fun for me. I think everybody should design for the Met Gala and their favorite Met Gala themes. Things that they wish they could have put on the red carpet when that Met Gala theme, or things they would have worn if they were in this Met Gala theme. I know there's amazing, talented artists all over the place. So show us your Metsona. If you enjoy it, like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that you're inspired by this episode to create some looks for some past Met Galas, and even the most current one that happened, the Karl Lagerfeld The Line of Beauty. I know I had a lot of fun illustrating for this Met Gala theme. I have fun illustrating for all of them. It's really a whole song and dance and a beautiful way for you to really flex your creative muscles. So please do so. With that, I'm gonna go. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hope you stay tuned for the next episode. We're kind of taking quite opposite. We're going from the red carpet to the poolside. See you in swimwear next week, baby. With that, it's been real, it's been good, it's been fun. I'm gonna go now.